The intermediate level is where most people give up on learning English because the frustration becomes overwhelming. You practice and practice, but it feels like you're never improving. I know exactly how it feels because I was in the same position just a few months ago. I don't want that to happen to you anymore. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to go from intermediate level to fluent English in just 6 months. And yes, it's completely possible. Why? Because 6 months is more than enough time if you're doing the right things. Trust me, I did it and I'm not special. After months of studying and figuring out the best approach, I've come up with specific steps that will help you stop feeling stuck, start speaking more naturally, and eliminate all the mistakes that are holding you back. Plus, you will be speaking with more confidence than ever before. This might be one of the most important things I'm going to talk about in this video, and it's incredible how many people don't even care or don't know about it. This can literally be the reason why you learn and become fluent in English or stay stuck forever. Have you ever noticed how people learn things faster when they do it more often? This is not a secret to anyone, right? For example, let's take two people that want to be basketball players. Number one, practice a few times a week, but he doesn't care that much. He's distracted with other things in life, and sometimes he even forgets about his dream. Number two, practice every single day, twice a day. All he reads is about basketball. He's constantly watching videos about it, trying to master his craft. Number two literally made basketball part of his identity. Now, who do you think is gonna become a basketball player in the future? If you said number two, you're right. So to become fluent in English, you can't look at English like a subject at school. You have to make it part of your identity. The reason making English part of your identity is so powerful is that it transforms the way you approach learning. When English becomes part of who you are, it's no longer something that you practice or study when you have time. It becomes a natural part of your daily life. This shift in mindset eliminates all the resistances that so many people face, and making progress feels so much easier. Think about it. If English is just another task on your to-do list and you have to rely on your willpower to do it, it's easy to procrastinate or lose motivation. But when it's a core part of your identity, like your values, hobbies, or culture, you don't even think about not studying or practicing. It becomes natural because it's connected to everything you do. This is the key to breaking out of the intermediate plateau and achieving fluency faster than you ever thought possible. There was an experiment that showed exactly why willpower is not enough. A group of people were put in a room with a jar full of delicious chocolate cookies and a glass of water. One group was allowed to eat the cookies, but the other group was told to only drink the water, and they had to resist the cookies completely. After this, both groups were given a difficult puzzle to test their persistency. The ones who did eat the cookies kept trying to solve the puzzle for about 20 minutes, but the ones that were not allowed to eat the cookies and had to only drink the water gave up after just 8 minutes. Why? Because willpower is limited. The group that had to resist the cookies had already used a lot of the mental energy, so when they faced another challenge, they had no strength left to push through. That is exactly why you cannot rely on willpower alone to learn English. Most people force themselves to study, they push themselves to practice, they try to stay motivated all the time. But just like in an experiment, willpower runs out. If learning English always feels like something that you have to force yourself to do, it's easier to give up and you're gonna burn out. Making English part of your identity means connecting it to your life so deeply that it feels natural and automatic. It's not about treating English like a task or something that you do only during study sessions. Instead, it's about immersing yourself in English in ways that align with your interests, with your daily routine and goals. This could mean thinking in English, journaling in English, or surrounding yourself with English content, reading books, watching podcasts, watching movies. It's about finding joy and purpose in the language, so it becomes more than a tool. It becomes a lifestyle. When English becomes part of your identity, you no longer feel like you're forcing yourself to learn. Instead, you start living the language. To make English part of your identity, stop treating it like a subject that you have to study every single day. Start living with it every day without think of it as a task. It doesn't mean you have to start changing everything about your life overnight. Just start making small adjustments. For example, if you enjoy something, do it in English. Let's say, for example, you love cooking. Start watching shows, read recipes all in English. You are already passionate about it, so make English the language of your passion. It's not about memorizing vocabulary, it's about connecting English with something that you love. Another thing, talk to yourself in English. I know it sounds weird, but if you start thinking in English every single day throughout your daily routine, the language is gonna start feel natural to you. You don't need to sit down and study grammar, just let your thoughts shaping themselves in English. Stop seeing English as something that you have to learn and start seeing it as a way to express yourself. When you catch yourself trying to make a point or telling a story, do it in English. Even if you make mistakes, it's part of the process. The more you try, the more natural it becomes. And before you know it, English is not just something you do, it's who you are. Once you make English part of your life, you won't have to force it anymore. Speaking, thinking, and understanding English will become second nature. You will stop feeling stuck and frustrated, and instead, you will speak English with confidence and ease. The mistakes that once held you back, they will become less and less as you naturally improve through consistent everyday exposure. And in just a few months, English will not be something you learn, but something you live. And that's the difference between feeling stuck at an intermediate level and achieving fluency. Trust me, once English becomes part of who you are, you will wonder why you ever struggle in the first place. When you spend too much time trying to build a vocabulary and start understanding English, everything is about practicing and studying. But when you get to a point that you feel stuck and is not progressing at all, something has to change. And most people never go through this change. Why something has to change? Because simply means that what you're doing is not working. And if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to waste your time and never achieve your goal. So you need to do something different. A big skill that your brain has, it's called adaptability. It is when you do something for so long that is not challenging anymore. It doesn't make you get out of your comfort zone. And with any skill, to learn it, you have to overcome these obstacles. So what you have to start doing is adapting yourself to real-world English. This is about stepping away from memorizing vocabulary and grammar exercises. It's about putting yourself in situations where you actually use the language, whether it's speaking with people in real life, watching a movie or TV show without subtitles, or reading a book or article about a topic that you like. It's English in its natural form. You have to start challenging yourself, and even if you think you cannot do this, you always can start small and slowly get to a point where it's just part of who you are. I know you might think that is hard right now, but it's the only process that you can and must go through to stop feeling stuck and improve faster. You need to understand that the things that you don't want to do are exactly the things that you have to do. So how exactly do you do it? It's simple. You face uncomfortable situations. For example, let's say you always watch something with subtitles and you never turn them off because you're worried that you're not going to be able to understand everything or that it will require a lot more of your focus. It doesn't matter. Start slowly by turning off the subtitles. If you don't want to speak with someone, you go and speak with someone. Reach out to people. Go to my community. If you don't have anyone to talk to, use apps to connect with people. If you want bad enough, you will find a way. The goal here is to gradually break this cycle of doing the same thing over and over again. By taking these small but bold steps, you will start seeing real progress. By embracing English as it is in real life, you are stepping to a whole new level of learning. It's challenging, yes, but that is where the real progress is made. Every time you get out of your comfort zone, you get closer to fluency. Now, you don't stay stuck in the same place anymore. Now, you evolve, adapt, and connect English into your life. You have probably been told countless times that speaking English perfectly is the goal, right? But what if I told you that this mindset is actually holding you back from achieving fluency? Sounds strange, right? Because you always want to speak better. But let me explain. The desire to speak English perfectly can stop you from making the progress that you are capable of. Most people who fail to reach fluency are not making the same mistakes over and over again. They are avoiding making mistakes all the time. Perfection is a trap. When you focus too much on getting everything right, you start to fear mistakes. And fear slows down your progress. The more you aim for perfection, the more you paralyze yourself. English is a skill, not a test. And skills are built through trial and error and improvement. If you constantly aim to be perfect, you will stop trying new things and end up never making progress at all. The truth is, mistakes are a crucial part of learning. They show you what needs improvement and help you grow. What you need to do is embrace imperfection. Stop worrying about saying everything perfectly. Focus on communicating your message even if it's wrong at first. Understand that mistakes are normal and are actually part of the process. This is not only about becoming fluent, it's about giving your permission to make mistakes. Learn from them and keep improving without the pressure of being perfect all the time. So how do you actually do this? Start by changing your mindset. Whatever you make a mistake, don't get frustrated or discouraged. Instead, ask yourself questions like, what can I learn from this? Practice English in real life situations, even if you are unsure at first. You don't have to have the perfect grammar or the perfect vocabulary to do this. Speak even if you stutter or struggle to find the right word. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and the less fear you have, you will get better over time. And this can be applied if you only want to watch something without subtitles when you think you can understand everything, or if you are always afraid of making mistakes and you're just gonna write something when you think you're gonna write everything perfectly. You shouldn't be afraid of making mistakes. You should be afraid of not making mistakes. Because if you don't make mistakes, that means you're not improving. And that I know you don't want. Once you let go of perfection, you will feel something incredible. Speaking English will no longer feel like a test that you have to pass all the time. And you will stop putting unnecessary pressure on yourself. Instead, you will enjoy the process of learning English, and you will start to speak with more confidence. Even if it's not perfect, that confidence will carry you forward faster than you ever imagined. Most importantly, you will realize that perfection was never the goal. The goal was to make progress. And now that you understand this and you start doing this, that is exactly what you will experience. Now that you know exactly how to stop feeling stuck and go from intermediate to fluent English, there's another important step that you have to take. If you're ready to start speaking English with confidence, you can watch this video right here, where I dive deeper into how you can build confidence when speaking English and overcome the fear of making mistakes in real life situations. See you in the next one.